August 25th. It was a day just like any other day. Out in Plum Grove, Texas, we had heard there was a hurricane out in the Gulf. At that point, we weren't real sure if it was going to be the kind that brings lots of wind or lots of rain. Depends on which side of that thing you're on, I guess. So we were excited that they'd already told us at school we'd be out of, for a couple of days. So it was just another holiday, enjoying life on the farm. And then the rains hit. And when I say it rained, it continued for about 4 days straight.
I know I should not be driving in this weather.
We got about 52 inches of rain.
I'm for sure.
At first, the rain drained off, but at some point it began to puddle up. And then came the river. The river at first began to back up, and then it crossed the street. At that point, we knew we were trapped inside of Plum Grove. The only way to get out was on ATV. We'd seen this a few times before. As long as we had preparations and supplies, we were going to be fine until the water receded. We moved all the livestock to the highest ground possible. Even though it had stopped raining, the river was deep ice. Drone footage shows the Morrow property was an island to ourselves, completely surrounded by the river, but the water kept rising. And at that point, most folks in Plum Grove were forced to evacuate. Most went on airboats, like the one shown here. Several guys with bass boats, flat-bottom boats, even canoes. Did all we could to get everybody out of Plum Grove. This right here is the Plum Grove Road. This air is making its way down. The one road we have in the little community. As you can see, there's not a patch of dry ground anywhere in sight. The entire city, and I'll say it again, the entire city was inundated by this flood. Some homes just got a few feet. Most homes, like mine, got up to 6 or 8. But there was absolutely nobody in the small tent was unaffected. This is the church in front of my property, and there's my home. You can see it in the distance, 6 foot of water. Here's the infamous coming home video.
I'll just look at this over here. I don't know where all this stuff floated in from. Oh my God! There's Patty! Patty!
Knowing my home was, had water that deep, I expected to come home and have to bury my animals. The emotions that ran through me when I realized they were alive, or most of them were alive, was just too much to bear. Home destroyed, lost my photos. This is totally gutted now. And so you start the rebuilding process. Along with that, you take whatever animals that were able to survive and you help them recover as well. Imogene had a tough time at first. At first, what I thought was maybe broken legs, or ended up just being hurt, I think dehydrated. It was a slow process. Took lots of tender loving care. She's doing great now, by the way. All the animals had cuts and scratches. Imogene had to fight through barbed wire to get to the high ground. You take things out of the house, you salvage what you can. Now the next step is rebuilding, replacing things you can replace, cleaning up things you can, rebuilding things that you're able to. It's been a month now. Things are getting back to normal. The animals that survived her seem to be doing really well. Patty's happy and getting her oatmeal again. Look here, we got a new partner for Meg. She was the one that had the hardest time losing her siblings. She was the only goat that survived, besides the 3 that my dad took care of. As you can see, there's lots of debris. It's been buried. We've had to get a bulldozer and push all kinds of stuff into holes and bury it. My brother's home was destroyed. We've had to bulldoze his entire house. My sister's house, same thing. You can see that trailer house there in the distance, actually something else they're going to have to salvage. My nephew had insurance though, it's already been replaced. My brother's already got a home himself, moved in there. That's that nice double wide. The patch of ground there shows where his old house is buried. Floodwaters have gone down. We still have a little bit of debris and trash we got to pick up here and there. That'll happen over time. But for the most part, the animals are doing well. The grass is nice and green, still plenty to eat. We're blessed. Very blessed. A lot of folks are wondering if after stuff like this happens, if people pack up and move. You know, you take whatever resources you can. You make sure this never happens to you again. You find higher ground. But my family's been here for the last 150 years. This land's been passed down from father to son. So you don't leave. You can't leave. It's in your blood. This is Plum Grove, Texas. There's nowhere else on earth I'd rather be.